For a while now, we have recommended the HY300 as a great addition to your sewing room. But you may have noticed that there are more than just one HY300 projector in the lineup. Today, I'm going to test out the latest update in the 300 series, the HY300X. We're going to do a complete look at this projector first by doing the unboxing, looking at the menu and functionality, the visual experience, and finally take a look at it for sewing. Make sure to stick around for the last part as I give my final thoughts comparing the HY300X to other current recommended projectors for sewing. I'll also tell you how to get a special discount on this projector. Although Match Cubic sent me this projector to try out, all thoughts and opinions are my own. Here I have the HY300X. It arrives in a yellow box. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. Here's everything you'll find in the box. The power cable is similar to other Match Cubic 300 and 310 series projectors. As you can see from here, it is pretty unique. And I haven't found a replacement or a longer cable for this. It is pretty short, so you'll want to plug in an extension cord. You'll also find in the box the remote and the instruction manual along with the projector itself, which is pretty small and compact looking at it. It's very lightweight. It's got a single point mount hole on the back, perfect for mounting. And the base does rotate 180 degrees to get the perfect angle that you will like. Overall, I think this projector can work for a variety of setups. It does have HDMI or wireless connections as well. So let's go ahead and take a deeper look at this projector. Don't worry if when you first turn on your projector, the logo is upside down. We will be able to change that later as we go through the settings. Go ahead and tilt the projector until it's at the right angle where you would like it to be. And then we're going to grab our remote. And on the remote is where you find the focus. It has electronic focus, and you can push the buttons to zoom the lens in or out so that it will focus on your screen. So it's completely manual electronic focus for the HY300X. Once the text looks great for you, let's go ahead and jump into the settings. And I'm going to go over to, I know it's upside down, the projection settings. And that second one down, if I just click over, I'm going to get it till it is facing the correct way. I also like to turn off auto trapezoid correction for sewing purposes. If you're watching a movie or TV, it's great to leave that on. So let's go ahead and go back and connect. I like to connect using the HDMI, but you can also connect wirelessly by going to the Screencast app in the settings. Depending what device you'll be connecting to is which option you will choose. Miracast is for Windows, AirPlay is for Macs and iPhones. And don't forget, after you push what you're going to be using, you do have to push that start button up that appears once you click on it. But I'm going to connect HDMI, so let's go back and I'm just going to choose HDMI. I have it plugged into my computer and it pops right up. Each projector that I test, I do test the lux lumens, and the HY300X came in at about 115.37 lux lumens when I took an average of 9 points. Also, let's take a look at the contrast and the images that are produced by this projector. These pictures show the light and the dark. We're going to see it go really dark here. Okay, so that's our black and our white. And this next image is going to show us a little bit more of the colors that are available on the screen for the HY300X. Now, let's take a look at the HY300 image versus the HY310X, which is another recommended projector. You can see there's slight color variations in the image. Also, let's listen to the speakers and the sound that we get from each of them. Now we're going to jump over and look at the text for each of the projectors. And this is the HY300X that has a native 720 pixel resolution, and the HY310X that has a 1080 pixel native resolution. You can see on the 300X that we do get a little bit more ghosting in the text, whereas the text is slightly more clear on the 310X. There are a variety of ways that you can set up the HY300X for sewing. One of the most popular ways is mounting it to the ceiling. On projectorsewing.com, I have a mount specifically designed by sewists for sewing with a projector titled The Mount, which can be used to mount your projector to the ceiling. The HY300 is great. You have plenty of room for an HDMI cord, but it does also have wireless connections. Also, I now offer a wall mount that is great for the HY300. The projector can slide in and out of this mount for easy taking down and setting up. And any adjustable base projector and all of the compatible projectors will be stated on projectorsewing.com. But this is great for mounting it to the wall. And as a plus, it also works great for slanted ceilings. So projectorsewing.com does now offer a mount for slanted ceilings, and the HY300X is one of the projectors that works great for this mount. You can slide it in and slide it out to use it for those movie nights or back to sewing. The HY300, because of its size and throw ratio, is a great option for tripods and tension rod mounts as portable options as well. Once you have it mounted how you would like to, angle the image so it's pointing how you want, focus that image, and connect to your device. I'm going to go ahead and just check my focus using a white piece of paper. I find it's easier to focus that way. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Pattern Projector to calibrate this projector for sewing. If you would like to learn how to calibrate your projector using Pattern Projector, you can check the video that should pop up here at the top of the screen. Pattern Projector does make calibration quite simple by dragging and dropping the corners and measuring the distance and inputting that into your device. I have the HY300 mounted above my sewing table, just under 60 inches from lens to table, and it does fill my entire 60-inch table. However, I did find in my testing that the throw ratio of this projector is 0.9, not 0.8 like it says in the description. So just be aware it does give a good image size, but it is closer to a throw ratio of 0.9. Now I'm ready to go ahead and open up a pattern. I chose to sew the Judy tee by Patterns for Pirates. I had some material and I'd been waiting to make this t-shirt, and I'm going to use the file as it is. They have done some great projector files with nice thick lines and nice font. So you can see I am just going to go ahead and cut this out using the HY300X. I am working in a dark room. The lights are turned off and my curtains are completely closed. It is a dark room. I will also show you what it looks like in different lit up rooms. This first image, the lights are on in my room and I have a window that gets afternoon sun open. And then I'm going to show you now this image, which shows the curtains closed, the lights off. It's completely dark in the room. So the lines are definitely more visible in the dark. So keep that in mind. It's easy to put some curtains on the window. I find I get enough light from the projector in the room that I'm not tripping around things, but I do sometimes turn on a little lamp in the room, and that is perfectly fine, not going to affect the image very much. But I'm also going to show you can invert the colors. We have the green with the black background. We also have a white with lines with a black background. And let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the text. This is a different pattern, and they do still have good projector files and nice large text. But this is kind of what you're going to see, the text from the HY300X, and this is on white fabric. Now that we've taken an in-depth look at the HY300X, let's go ahead and summarize the features of the HY300X and compare it to our HY310X, which is another recommended sewing projector. Let's take a look at the HY300X and a summary of its features. After doing my testing and working with this projector, it is approved for sewing. It was compact and easy to set up in a variety of setups. It produced a large image and it had decent brightness. As we take a closer look, the native resolution was 720 pixels, which is going to affect how clear the text is. The throw ratio, although listed as 0.8 on the listing, it was actually tested to be around 0.9. So it's not quite as large as the listing stated, but still a good size. The brightness was tested to be an average of 115 lux lumens. This is brighter than its predecessor, the HY300, but still best used in a dim environment. And finally, we have the price. It comes in at about $80 US before the special discount code that I'm going to share with you in the description below. So make sure to check that description below for your special discount code to use on the magcubic.com website. Let's jump over and see how the HY300X compares to our other recommended sewing projector, the HY310X. This chart is going to show the HY300X next to the HY310X, which was recently reviewed. I'll have a video linked above and also at the end of this video so you can watch that review as well. But looking over the features and how they compare, first we have the native resolution. The HY300X has a native resolution of 720 pixels, whereas the HY310 has a slightly higher resolution at 1080 pixels. You may not notice this a lot with the lines, but getting down to some of the smaller text on patterns, you may see a little bit more ghosting, a little bit more fuzz around the edges on a 720 pixel than the 1080 pixel. And that's what I've noticed as I've compared some of that. Other than that, the lines on your patterns are really not going to be affected by that pixel range too much on there. And next we have the throw ratio. Now, although the 300X, the listing does say that it has a throw ratio of 0.8, in testing, I found that it was actually closer to the 0.9. So you are going to get a slightly larger image from the 310X than you will with the 300X, but they're both going to give you a really good image size for sewing. Next, the brightness between these was pretty close. The HY300X is significantly brighter than its predecessor, just the HY300 coming in at that 115 lux lumens, but it's not quite as bright as I tested the 310X, which was tested at 129 lux lumens. So it is a little bit brighter. These are still best used in a dim environment, but some light is not going to affect this image too much. Finally, looking at the price, there is a slight price difference between these two and the features. On the magiccubic.com website, you'll find the HY300X to be about 79 US dollars and the HY310X to be about 99 US dollars. And don't forget, this is before you use the special discount code that I've included in the description below, and it can be used on either of these projectors. Thanks for joining me for a review of the HY300X and also taking a look at it compared to the HY310X. I'm curious, which one is best for your sewing room? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for joining me today, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on using a projector for sewing.